Hey, today I'm going to be making three different loops, like song starter type loops. The goal of today is basically to just get myself writing, starting ideas, and get back into doing that since I haven't been writing very much the past like month or two. So today's all about making ideas, not necessarily finished songs or like great songs, but just to start ideas and have some foundations, whether they're good or not. So, song one, I started by writing a chord progression on piano. Then I kind of had an idea of where it was going, so I made some drums for it. After the drums, I decided that I needed a pad. That pad's cool, but it's pretty bare bones, so let's put some effects on it. Now for some bass. So I was trying to write a melody for this, and I used this little like calm like synth patch. Sounds like this. Ultimately, that didn't work, so I moved on to some strings instead. So that's all the pieces of the loop. Now here's it all together. So that one, I'm pretty happy with it. I have made that kind of style before and wanted to make some more of it. Uh, there's certain things it needs that I'm not really sure yet. Um, but it's a cool little loop all around, and I think it would be really good with some vocals over it. So maybe I'll do that in the future. But I could see myself expanding on that one. But that is loop one. On to the next. Also, none of this is like mixed or mastered or anything. I just like kind of threw it together. So for the second loop, I had the idea to do some like trancey thing. And for this one, I started with piano again with just this little melody. Then I moved on to trying to make some pads again, which that didn't really work out. It sounds good though. Like I think it more sounds like Rally House, like from a Y2K like racing game on like PS1 or something. So I might do that later. But ultimately it didn't go in this track. So I moved on to some super saws. So that's cool. It's a nice like airy, like big thing. Um so next I moved on to some drums. Just some like simple trancy drums. So now let's bounce back to that super saw that we were just working on, and let's make it a little more rhythmic and add some side chain to it to go with the drums. And a nice Reese bass. Then let's add a melody over top of that. And it still feels like it needs some more rhythm, so let's add like a chopped rhythmic saw type thing. Now, here's the whole loop all together. So loop 2 is pretty cool. Definitely very trancy. I would probably change that melody a bit. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going with it, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. So that is loop 2. So loop 3, I didn't really have a plan, but I had some drums in mind, which sounded like this. which sounded really punchy and cool, so I added some bass to it. Then let's put some super saws on top of that. So again, we're gonna sidechain that saw and do some like muting and give it a very strict like rhythm that goes right along with the bass and the drums. So this needs some sort of melody on top. So this is what I put. Then to finish it off, I added some fills just for a little bit of variation. I'd probably expand a little more on those, like if I ever expanded the track, but for now it works. So that is the third loop, and here's it all together. So that definitely reminds me of like older EDM. Like the drums are like straight Divinity by Porter Robinson. Um yeah, it's cool. It hits. I don't know. It was a fun one. So that is loop 3. So now that I'm finished with all that, it feels really good. I did what I wanted to accomplish. I started 3 new songs basically and got the creativity kind of going and reminded myself that I can start things and like come up with things that are cool. So even if I don't use those, doesn't matter. It was fun. Because again, the whole point of this was to practice having ideas. Maybe I'll expand upon them someday. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It was fun. See ya.